I'd like to call the Destin Fire Control District Board of Commissioners meeting to order. We're at 848 Airport Road here in Destin, November 12, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. This meeting is open to the public. And at this time, I would like to make note that Commissioner Wilson is absent and it is excused. And we have an employee recognition. Chief?
I don't see him. Where's he at?
You gonna move it? We'll just move
He's
it.
too big to miss. I mean, am I wrong? Y'all see him? Where's Matt?
You moved here, sir?
Yeah, I know he was here. We're gonna skip him.
We'll skip it.
We're gonna skip him, and I'm going to the next one.
Okay.
How about that? You got, thank you, ma'am.
That's right there.
No, you get the lead, sir. Yeah,
Oh, that's
you're in the-
what-
oh, don't say where you're at. just yet.
Which man are we talking about? He's right there.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you're here. Yes, you. As we've done in the past, as we kind of started that new tradition, as an individual is promoted, we like to bring them before the commission to recognize them for their accomplishment of being promoted to the next rank, whatever that might be. And tonight we have the honor of recognizing Captain Romero now. Was an engineer, but now he's captain. Captain Romero fulfilled all the requirements and obligations for the position, which means that he's a certified pump operator, he's a certified fire officer 1, certified fire officer 2, and the minimum requirement for the position is to have an associate's degree. But Captain Romero has accomplished his bachelor's degree. So we're very proud of him. He's made all the accomplishments, he's done everything he needed to do, and we would like to recognize him for fulfilling all those requirements and being promoted to captain. He was actually promoted on the 17th of October, but this is our first meeting to be able to recognize him. So if you wouldn't mind, Captain Romero, come on up to the front, sir. Oh, we got some cameras, all good. I think there'll be plenty of pictures. I see family around, so left hand, sir.
Left hand.
Right hand here.
Right hand.
There you go. All right. Smile. We haven't done this in a while, so. Outstanding. Good job, Felix. Proud of you. Did the big guy make it? He's bigger than some of us, than me. Anybody see firefighter pride?
Sounds like him. Sounds like him, right?
Yeah, sounds like you're showing up.
That answers that, doesn't it? He's here. If it's all right, I'll scoot to the next one. All right, so I want to talk about this one from the heart. I didn't prepare anything, didn't write anything up.
We're in trouble.
How long should take? It could be a while, which I'm infamous for.
No.
With that said, I'd like to thank the commission actually first, because if it weren't for the vision of the commission and their dedication to the funds of accomplishing what this group set out to accomplish, we wouldn't be able to do it. Hi. Have a seat, sir. And
It's a little cold.
you'll be coming up in just a sec. But if it wasn't for commitment of this commission and dedicating those funds and having the vision to say this is the direction that our fire district wanted to go, these gentlemen wouldn't have been able to accomplish this series of courses that they just went through. So I'd like to thank this group for having that vision and dedicating those funds to assisting these guys to be able to go and take those classes. So thank you for that. This series of courses that these gentlemen we're going to recognize tonight accomplished are kind of near and dear to me. I kind of cut my eye teeth in the fire service in the rescue seat, which is something that I really enjoyed. It's something that I loved when I was a young guy coming through the fire service. I think it helped set the course of my career. So it's something that's kind of near and dear to me. So I was very excited that we were able to offer it to these gentlemen, and the fact that these gentlemen are they are setting the foundation for our technical rescue team that we're establishing. This is the founding group of that team. They are the initial foundation. We'll be building from it as we bring on new employees, but these are the initial group that dedicate themselves to accomplishing that series of courses. And that series of courses, it's a total of 8 courses in total, and it's a lot of physical, it takes a lot of physical and capacity, endurance to get through thank you, sir, to get through this. The courses, they started out with what we used to call high angle rescue, which is rope rescue. They then went into confined space. They did trench, structural collapse, and VMR, which is vehicle machinery rescue. Those are 5 courses, but all of those have an operation and tech level course in it. So it was a significant investment on their part and their time to be able to accomplish this, this rescue specialist certification. So again, those set the foundation. I think that this group that we have that has accomplished this rescue specialist certification is the group that's really going to be our leaders going into the future. So this is the founding group, and these are our future leaders. So I try to keep it short. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But with that said, I'd like to recognize each and every one of them. If you would, come forward. We have a helmet, as you can see, sitting here on the table that will be issued to each and every one of you. That shows that you are a member of our rescue specialist team. It'll be yours for you to keep and have with you. And it's our way of saying thank you. We allowed some of our leaders in that team to kind of select the helmet and kind of did it up so what you see today. So, which I think it's a phenomenal looking helmet myself. So with that said, we're going to start in reverse. Everybody likes to go in alphabetical order. That's how my last name gives with S. I like going backwards. So with that said, we're going to start with the last guy on the list alphabetically, which would be Firefighter Wentworth. Sir, if you would come up, please get your helmet. I think Commissioner Buckingham has it for you. Yeah, shy, yes, you can tell. And I'd like to recognize Engineer Weiland. Brian, are you here? Good, Brian. Matt set the example for you. Thank you, sir. And then I'd like to recognize Firefighter Prado, who was a little late for his own thing. Good. Matt, thank you, sir. Good job. No, sir. Hang around. We'll get a picture. We'll get a good picture of all of you. All right, and Captain Landis, if you would, sir. Good job. Good job. Firefighter Coker, I see you.
You get to do it. You get the hand.
Sorry, Doug. I was asking a question. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Hold on to that one. And Firefighter Haynes, come on up, sir. Firefighter Gatewood, I saw him earlier. Good job, Brian. Thank you, sir. And Firefighter Anderson, I see him around here. There he is. And I didn't say the best for last, but definitely the one that is myself challenged a little symbolically with his hair. Battalion Chief Anderson, sir. Good job, Jeff. There you go, sir. And we have one that I don't believe is here. I didn't see him, that's why I held off on it. Firefighter Jensen, who's not here to set this helmet, but we do have it and we'll make sure he gets it later. So if the rest of everybody who received their helmets, part of our team, will come up to the front so we can have one picture with everybody, if that's okay. Commissioner, that line in front of the commissioner. No, you're all right. You stand up. Come on. We've got plenty of room. We have enough room to get all of them up there? I think so. Matt, you want to take a picture for me? And we got them all? Can you can't get them in?
Yeah.
Are we doing that? All right, guys, smile, say cheese.
Can you get it?
Outstanding. Congratulations, guys. Oh, yeah. And again, another tradition that we just started was recognizing our firefighters as they complete the probationary period. And part of completing that probationary period, at least for 1 year, in order to get off that, you have to complete, you have to become a USLA open water rescue. And that is essential or you don't come on probation. We have a firefighter tonight who has accomplished that, who has accomplished swim. Matter of fact, accomplished a swim with only a few months of being hired with us. It was him and another firefighter accomplished it fairly quickly. We were very surprised. We saw his initial swimming ability. He dedicated himself to ensuring that he accomplished that, and mission accomplished within 2 to 3 months. So very proud of the individual for this individual and of accomplishing that. He comes to us after a tour in the Army, and we're very appreciative of what the Army has instilled in him, provided him a set of values and the characteristics that it takes in the career field that he was in. I think is an invaluable asset for our district. So we're very excited to have him. We're excited that he's accomplished everything that's been asked of him within his probationary period. And I'd like to welcome and congratulate Firefighter Prada for making it off probation and welcome him to our family. You got it? Oh, yeah. No. You got it? We got it. Personal for you.
I'm not to say anything, but
Yes, sir, please.
I'm here. I'm Matt Prado. Kind of different, but that's all right with me. I was a little late today. The wife and I were trying to get here on time. Babysitter's late, so I apologize. I'm sorry. It's not like me to be late by any means.
Not even.
I absolutely hate it. It's my biggest pet peeve. So I enjoy working here. I'm more than happy to be here for the citizens of Destin and work with a bunch of phenomenal guys. And look forward to seeing what you guys have in the future for us. So,
Good.
thank you very much.
We're very excited. Did the wife come with you? We didn't. I didn't
She
get.
should be here like right now.
Oh, I was going to make sure we recognized her. But I want you to know this group that we have, that we've recognized tonight, this is a phenomenal group. We're extremely excited with this group that we have that's coming through our fire district now. I'm telling you, it reinvigorates some of us older folks that have been in the fire service quite a while. It really gets us kind of excited and pumped up because these guys are that way. We're really happy to have them. We want to keep each and every one of them. We welcome them into our family, and we hope they stay and retire here in Destin because we love each and every one of them. So we want to thank them for everything they've done. So thank you guys.
Hey, his wife will be here in a minute. Let's just act like we haven't done him yet. And reach in your pocket a little deeper next time.
I'll try. Give me a so I can pull it out and kiss them.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. Congratulations to everyone. Good job, everyone. Thank you for all your time and dedication to give to the district. All right, moving to public comments. So at this time, I'd like to open the floor up for public comments. So anybody from the public would like to make any comment at this time, it's welcome. Seeing none, the floor will be closed to public comments. Review of the minutes of regular meeting, October 8, 2019.
So move.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Changes, deletions? Seeing none, take a vote. All in favor? Unanimous? Financial report, October 31st, 2019. Catherine?
This is the first month of the new fiscal year. As far as the balance sheet goes, there are still items to be reconciled for our fiscal end September 30th. The cash position is good, accounts receivable is good, fixed assets need to record depreciation and need to adjust liabilities. So for this report, you're really focusing on the revenue versus expenditure section, so you can see where our budget is falling for the first month. There's no, there were 3 payrolls this month, which is that only happens 2 times a year. So the payroll will look inflated for the month, but it's not, it's in control. There's really no items that are out of line that I need to mention. So if you have any questions, I can answer those at this time.
Motion to approve the financials for October 31st, 2019.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Comments? Seeing none, take a vote. All in favor? Unanimous? Chief, old business, West End District Station.
Yes, sir.
update.
Status, is still status quo as what we discussed at the last meeting. Hope to have more to report at our next one. Hope to have more.
All right, interlocal agreement for beach safety and lifeguard services with Okaloosa County. Have an update.
As the commission had directed, we made those changes. Those changes have been submitted to the county for their approval. I'll let DC pick up from there because he's had some recent information from them and contact with them as of today.
Yes, sir. I've spoken with both the city attorney and the county attorney. They have reviewed the documents, but they need a few more days before they can make the decision. So asking we table at the next meeting, we should have a draft ready for the board by next meeting.
Very good. Thank you.
Make the motion table.
All right,
Second.
all in favor? Okay. All right, the property adjacent to 117 Crystal Beach Drive, next to Station 10. Chief, you got an update?
Yes, sir. I reached out to Ms. Smith, who represents Coleman Kelly Trust, who we believed were the sole owners of the property. What we kind of found out is there's more than just Coleman Kelly on it. They believed it was just Coleman Kelly. There's a couple of others there. Ms. Smith is reaching out to those. And this was found out when the title search was done. They pulled it in. They're doing some research there. She's had to do a little bit more research. We anticipate to, between now and next meeting, be able to have this locked up and ready to present to the board at the next meeting. So to kind of finalize it and go through with it. But there's still kind of a slower process because I ran into some issues with the title when it came back. But I anticipate to have that settled by our next meeting.
That they felt good about it?
Yes, sir. You know, the question was asked about donating, but they have a fiscal responsibility to the trust, so they're going to have to sell it. So Ms. Smith felt good about us being able to purchase the property as the based upon the appraisal of the property that we had at the last meeting. So I think it's going to move forward. I had hoped to have a contract on it, so that way it was kind of locked down. But when she did the title search, that ran across a few issues, so she's going to have to
Great. Thank you.
Moving on to chief reports, beach safety update. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just 2 things. We have the final statistic as well on Halloween. I know most of the board was there. We did give the rescue board from AJ's back to Alan and the staff there, and they were very appreciative. We saved a lot of lives. We won a lot of races on that board. It was beat up pretty good, but it'll look good hanging over there. Just looking at our final statistics, we were down with attendance. I don't think that's a secret. I saw Miss Adams from the TDC do a press release or an interview for the Northwest Florida Daily News, and it seems like tourism was down. One of the numbers that she did mention was we were down 17% for the month of July. Looking at our attendance this year of 2.1 million on the beach compared to last year, 2.4 million, that difference of 400,000 is roughly 17%. So hard to say if it was overall, but we were down a little bit. If you flip to that second page, it says Destin Beach Safety Activity Analysis. That gives us a little bit of a bigger picture of what we've done in the last 15 years. One of the things I find interesting as we look at the last 3 years, 17, 18, and 19, we keep adding more and more chair lifeguards to the beach for peak season of summer. You can see those public contacts. We're starting to have a presence on that beach, something that was lacking from inception in 2004. There's a lot of us out there now in summer. But if you have any question on those numbers, I'll be more than happy to answer.
We're gonna get into the chairs later on, so.
Yeah, we have other things, yes, other businesses.
Any questions? Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank
Good
you.
report. Training report, Chief.
Yes, sir. You have it before you. You'll see that the guys that we kind of talked about tonight got in 36 hours of training for the month, which is phenomenal. You'll see part of that was that structural collapse tech class, which accounted for 20 hours of the training. Phenomenal training. The group that came in from South Florida and taught that did a phenomenal job. The guys really enjoyed it, but that was a lot of the training that they did accomplish. But you'll see there's some other training that we did as well. So phenomenal job. Again, 36 hours when there's only 20 hours required in a month. That's 16 hours, well, which is great.
Good job. Good training. Any questions? All right, inspection report. Matt?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you have the report in front of you. October was fire prevention, so also want to say a big thank you to all the guys that helped out with fire prevention. Going and seeing all the kids at the schools and stuff. We got in front of over 1,000 kids, so that was really good to put out the fire prevention, message to all of them and all. Got a couple projects. I say one right now that's plans just came in. They're adding on to the Best Western down on Commons Drive. They're actually going to extend it out and go up 4 stories with it. So that project's going, and then the other project is Vintage Destin still going forward. So we got the water turned on inside of it now, so we're moving forward good on it. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer.
Moving on to overtime report, Chief.
Yes, sir. You'll see us in front of you there. You'll see there's a couple of times when we were down over 24 hours. That's right. Some of these hours do incorporate Hurricane Dorian time because we held the pay and then it kind of came through and you see those hours. 201 hours for Hurricane Dorian. So that's probably what's going to absorb most of what you see in front of you.
No, we can get reimbursed for that?
Right, that's correct, yes, sir.
Any questions? All right, moving on to new business, audit service contract.
As the commission had directed had asked for Commissioner Wilson and Ms. Catherine to get up with CRI and look at the numbers as far as the proposal that they had presented to the board and we accepted. Commissioner Wilson and Catherine did. They performed an analysis, looked at the numbers. CRI provided justification for what they were submitting to us for this 3-year agreement. Commissioner Wilson felt comfortable after reviewing the analysis of what was being presented to us. He felt those were justified expenses and recommended that the board approve.
Well, that was from Commissioner Wilson.
Yes, sir.
So moved.
I got a motion and a second, and that's for cars, rigs, and Ingram?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Okay.
Ms. Catherine, did I miss anything?
No.
Any further discussion? Stand up, take a vote, all in favor? Unanimous? Good job, Doc, on that.
Nice job, Kathy.
Request for proposals, portable cardiac defibrillators and monitors.
Yes, sir, as the commission asked, we sent them out for an RFP again, and we received those. You have all those documents in front of you. I can turn it over to Division Chief Louie and Kenneth and let him answer any questions the board might have.
I see that there's no bids for new defibrillators.
We didn't get any in for new, we had 2 additional ones in for the refurbs.
I have a problem with refurbs. I don't know how the rest of the commission feels, but I'm in the business of saving lives, not saving money. So for me, I want new. I don't want refurbs. And I looked at the ones that are from 2016, 2018, even though they got new parts in it, still 2016, 2018. So until we get, I like to put it up for RFP again for another month and see if we can get some new bids for new defibrillators instead of refurbs.
I will agree with Bob on part of it. Obvious, my job is to watch the checkbook, but when it comes down to saving a life, the last thing I want on my shoulders is we had the opportunity to buy something new and we didn't, we bought something used. So I am definitely in favor of putting this off till next month and getting a choice on new ones.
I guess the question I have, I see your point, and I kind of agree with it, but what's the standard practice
As far
as new versus refurbs? I mean,
well, typically when you were dealing with grants, being funded with it, people go with new. Whenever they're not, they go with refurbs. That's why refurbs do not stay on the shelf very long. That's why we couldn't get refurb prices from Vizio themselves, because they already have them allocated out. As soon as they get them in, they've already got buyers for them. So they go out like hotcakes. So that's why I couldn't get those refurb bids. So if you have the money, they go get the new ones, especially for the grants. But if it's coming out of the pocket of the person, the district or whatever, they typically go to refurb it.
Did you ask them why they're refurbs? Was something wrong with them, or were they display models, or why are they refurbs?
There's could be a different reasons. They're trading them in, they're upgrading, they went out of business, they had some type of issue with them, they rebuilt them, just warranty work.
it could be like us, turning ours in, and if you wanted to buy new.
So since this has just been put on record again by stating that sometimes they trade them in to upgrade to the better one, I'm gonna say again, I'm in favor of getting a quote on brand new ones, please.
I agree with that myself.
Yes, ma'am.
I will say that Attorney Matthews and I will verify, but we have already met our obligation for going out for an RFP. This second RFP, we asked for both new and refurbished machines. As such, we should be able to purchase from any vendor that meets the best interest of the district. So we can directly ask vendors, and we will verify that before we do so, but I'm pretty confident that we have already met our obligation underneath the state statute to advertise.
So move.
Let's go for new. I'll make a motion to purchase new ones at the district's request.
Second.
It just allows us to be able to go out with a direct purchase. So we put out for an RFP, if we don't receive any bids, then we have the ability to do what's in the best interest of the district moving forward. So that means that the board directs us to go out and purchase them, we'll find the best possible value for us for what we're looking for, which would be brand new, and make that purchase.
it'll come back to us though, to approve the purchase price, right? Or no?
Go ahead, go for
It
it.
doesn't have to, if you tell us to go ahead and make it happen, we can make it happen, or if you'd like,
The
Yeah, it has to be a
parameters. I want some parameters.
Parameter.
well, right.
What was the bid for the last new one, the last RFP? There was new ones quoted back then.
It was right at 170,
How much?
170,000 for the four of them.
Here's your parameter right there.
Yeah, there you go.
If the board would like for us to bring it back, we can bring it back with, some different quotes and if you like, or we can just go ahead and make the purchase and put a parameter on it, we'll have to stay within inside that.
All right.
The brands you guys like are the ones we want to get, certain brands we want.
And then it's also notable that the ones we have now, we're having issues with them, so the sooner that we can get these, the better.
So-
Because the
so
ones that we
use that
currently
parameter,
have
let's go.
are having all kind of problems, and we're gonna be looking at having to replace pieces
Right,
of parts that are very
okay. So
expensive.
we'll use that parameter and let them go. Go get them.
So it was 170, so
Let's
in
get a
case
cap
prices
though,
went up
just
to
in
make it
case something's
180.
changed.
Yeah, well, I know he's got that covered.
What's that?
I'd like to see a cap, so
Okay.
you have to come back to us, but there's.
Well, he's got the cap.
Last bid was 170, so in case of inflation, they raised the price, I would go like 175.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Okay, and then, if the commission would be okay with, also adjusting that, your motion to include, adjusting the budget, making budget adjustments, because we didn't budget for brand new ones, we budgeted for less than that, so.
Is that part of your motion?
So then you're.
So amended.
All right, and I'll second it.
Okay.
Take a vote, all in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with you, I like new, I like used stuff, when it comes to saving lives, so. All right, good deal. Request for proposals, Destin Beach Safety Lifeguard Observation Chairs. Joe?
Joe.
Chief?
Well, I'll turn it over to Joe. We did go out for an RFP, we have a couple back, and I'll let Joe go into the details of it.
Actually, on this one, Chief, we have one back.
We only have one on chair, that's right. it's
We've got
paddle
one
boards.
back. He's been doing our aluminum work for 15 years.
He's built them before,
He's built them before.
price is the same.
Price,
South
and which is a,
Florida?
no, these are actually the chairs. They're not
Chairs.
the
Oh,
towers.
chairs, okay.
Yeah, this is the movable, so this is local.
Okay.
And the fact that he's able to stick to that price, with what's going on with China and Russia and aluminum is.
Who is he?
Things. Drew's Marine
Yeah,
Fabrication.
okay, good.
That
So-
is page
Yeah.
59 in your package.
Right, okay.
And he backs his work. We haven't had any problems with him, but if there's a weld or a crack, we just tow him over there and he can fix it.
He
so.
can't build our towers too?
We've never asked.
Well, I think there's different modifications in that where it's just not aluminum. I mean, when he builds these, it's easier, it's kind of like building a cobia tower, when he builds the chairs. When you build the towers, there's the glass that goes into it, I say glass, it's plexi. But then there's the venting that has to go into it because they're enclosed. It's fiberglass, it's already molded. There's a lot more that goes into a actual chair, and there's the tower as compared to a chair. A chair is something we can buy local, it's pretty easy for him to build, anybody that can weld.
So it's lifetime warranty, it says it.
All right, so we need a motion on it?
Yes.
So move.
Second?
And I got a motion to approve.
Thank you, Joe.
All in favor? Unanimous.
We don't always spend money this easy, guys, but when it comes to saving a life, we're gonna move forward. Thank you.
Request for proposals, Destin Beach Safety Lifeguard Paddleboard.
Yeah, so that's where I had the two.
We're out of money,
And I'll let,
Chief, we're out of money.
yeah, done. No
Was
board.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, I saw that pocket was there, he was up there, that's why I said dig deeper.
Exactly. Well,
Let's go with the boards.
wait till we get to the rescue equipment,
Yeah.
or our specialized team.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Hold it for that, please. Anyway, I'll let Joe pick it up. We did get two quotes on the paddle board. I'll let Joe pick it up.
It was actually 3, Chief.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
They're, what we specifically put out for bid was length and width. All the boards here meet the length requirement, 10.6 is pretty standard internationally. There was variations on width, and they're disclosed on the side, the furthest column to the right on the description. It would be, that bottom company, the Cracker Racing Surfcraft, would come closest to to what we've requested.
If I read right, that came from Northwest Australia?
It comes from Australia, which is actually peculiar. We just sent an RFP direct to that parent company. We've tried to do business with those manufacturers before, and they wouldn't for whatever reason. If it's quantity, they're actually, this proposal is for custom-made boards, not China pop-outs.
What do we have now?
We have, the last batch we used is from a company called Dolphin, but it would be Dolphin USA. It's brought in by Barrier Waterman. And what those boards are is they're made in China to send to.
So you got my draft, if I want it American
They're
made.
not custom.
Well,
I want
it-
American made, if it's possible.
Um,
If it's
it-
possible.
I've actually taken the Australian boards, this is probably not something I should say, and had them scanned. We've taken them to people with 3D printers to have them American made, and no one will touch it. Yeah. Yeah, everything here would come from China, except for that bottom, that cracker, racing surf craft.
So you recommended the cracker one?
Yes,
The recommendation?
yes.
What do you guys feel about
yes.
that? I don't know. The torn.
I think they make good boards.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, I think they make good boards. But Joe, I know we're buying 12.
Yes.
What's our total that we have that'll be functional?
Some of the boards, Catherine and I have that, are trying to get that in a rotation through our budget. So some from the last time that we purchased boards could still be used. To determine their life expectancy is difficult. You know how epoxy is, and you saw the AJ's board. Someone could just have one bad day, it takes on water, and then the board is obsolete. So it's kind of really something that's difficult. We try to get 3 to 5 years out of those. I think it's 4 years since we made a big purchase on boards. So some of them, to answer your question, I would have to probably say about 4 or 5 could still be.
Well, I mean, what's our total fleet? What do we have on hand that are operational?
In use,
Yeah.
that we need to have in
No,
use.
that we have currently.
Total.
Oh.
It's in use. We took so many out that were,
I would probably say we probably are in use 7.
and then on the beach at any given day, how many do we have out there?
Ten.
So we need 10 a day.
Yeah. Yeah. And the 12 just allows for, some of those that we can't, that life expectancy of trying.
You're in the business, so what do you think?
I like that board. It's a good board.
For the price wise, it's in the middle, it's in the middle place.
Yeah, the ones on the top there, that Marine Rescue product board is very big. It's width, when you start to get into those widths, if we're putting one of our smaller lifeguards on, a younger man, or even just a girl, we have a female lifeguard, that shoulder width when they start to paddle it, it's gonna be
Swing span.
So that'll work better for our employees, it'll work better.
yes,
It'll
yes,
help.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a wingspan.
So it's the same length, but then they start doing this as opposed to this. And they won't use them as much as what I'm fearful of that
Can't
top
get
one.
out there to play. There's another factor. And it's kind of leaning toward the guy that does it every day.
Well, you were in the business, so I can.
Well, I was in paddleboard business, but it's similar.
I'm out of water for this one. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
Any other comments? Tommy?
Mike?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Did you want to say something?
I'll make a motion.
Yeah. And you're recommending the?
I recommend the bottom one,
Okay.
Cracker Racing certificate.
I'll make a motion on cracker.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? See none? Vote, all in favor? Unanimous. You got 'em, Joe.
Thank you. The lifeguards will thank you.
All right, moving on to resolution 20-01, the sale of beach safety assets.
Yes, sir, this is to dispose and sell in our rotation as we have set up. If you were asking about rotation, these are our vehicles to be set up for rotation, UTVs, ATVs, and Wave Runner on the cycle that we have them set, which is the 2, and with the Wave Runner is, what is the Wave Runner, Joe? Years that we rotate, is it 3?
It's 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on that rotation cycle where we rotate these out, and these are the assets that we'll be rotating out and purchasing new.
Well, because the new contract, does this money goes to us or does it goes back to Penn now?
That is part of the agreement, that we're making that adjustment, that this rolls back into our budget, because these weren't purchased for us, we purchased these, so therefore it'll roll back into our beach safety
Beach
budget.
safety budget.
Make a motion to resolution 2001.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, take a vote on favor. Unanimous. Good time of year to get them sold.
Yeah, perfect time. And we normally try to do it right about this meeting, so that way we're setting it up for the hunting season.
Right. All right, moving on to staff management compensation. Who's got this one? Mike?
I'm sorry.
Staff management compensation.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading. I'd like to put this off till next month. I'm working with the chief. I'd like to come up with a scale, to bring back to this board. More of a scale that, like we have done with the guys, where they know, where they can come to. They know where they can get to as they come up this ladder. So if it's okay with the board, I'd like to bring it back. I'd like to put it on the agenda next month so we can vote on it, if it's okay with this board.
So we're just tabling that.
Yes.
I have a problem with it, since I put it on the agenda.
I know it's not,
I put on the agenda to have it, we had 30 days to do it, and I haven't received any paperwork at all, and I'm kind of frustrated. These non-employee union guys have been 4 years without a raise. Now we have to wait another 30 days for another, what's the problem with getting some information to us in the last 30 days?
Chief, when did we have our meeting last week?
Tuesday was.
I'm just asking, when did I get the information to my email? That's doing the best I can, man,
I
sorry
haven't
about that.
received any information.
Well, it's because it was brought to me first, so I could present it to you all. But there wasn't,
Yeah, he's had.
yeah, there wasn't enough, don't, trust me, I want this done probably worse than you do, because I think they deserve it, I think they deserve it, 4 years ago myself. But I don't feel comfortable bringing what we have at this moment in front of the board. I'd prefer to bring it next month, if the board will allow it.
Have you talked to all the employees about what
I've
they wanted?
I've met with 3 of the employees and the chief so far. Yes. Oh, we've got time to invest, trust me.
something we can make retroactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah, and I would like
Again,
to,
It's been 4 years now since they have it already, we need to take care of our non-union employees.
well, I'll tell you what I'd like to do, as long as this board's good with this, I'd like to retro it back to October, when we do bring it back next month.
Absolutely.
Okay, you good with that?
Why don't you go back to
That's
it?
something we can decide when.
Right,
we
but
vote.
We'll just decide.
yeah, but for the record, I would like to do that, okay? I would.
And we're gonna get the information beforehand so we can review it?
I'm hoping, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Make it
Yeah,
part of the
we'll make sure we get it to you, yes, yes, most definitely. Yeah,
So we're tabling it.
please.
Get a motion? Table it. Second?
I'll motion it.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, got a motion second. Any other discussion about it? All right, take a vote, all in favor? All right, got 3 yeses, 1 no. All right, anything else come from the board? All right, the next regular meeting is scheduled for December 10th, 2019 at 5:30 PM here at the 848 Airport Road here in Destin. And we are adjourned.
Thank you.